Thank you.
Thank you.
My favorite work this year has been trying to add clarification and do the follow-up work that we promised after AB5. We had a number of bills when we started because we'd hoped to push one quickly. We now have just combined them all into this urgent matter so that once we hopefully get it through, it can be signed by the governor and we can clarify and get these things into law so people can feel a little bit better about their situations if they're truly independent contractors or small businesses. What 2257 does to AB5, basically, the amendments that it does, that is taken into account. We clarified the business to business. There was this belief somehow that two businesses couldn't contract with one another and serve each other's clients. We clarified that, in fact, they can, as long as the people serving the clients are employees of one of those businesses. We don't want, a chain of independent contractors working for a business serving the clients, because then what Uber will just say is, yeah, they're serving all of our clients as independent. They're, a sole proprietor. They can have that business-to-business relationship. But this says, yes, if you contract with a company, which we always thought this law, in fact, we had a letter to the Journal last year saying this, if you're contracting with another company, bringing them in, it happens a lot in healthcare, the company can come in and, of course, serve the same clients in the same location, but the person is an employee. This is important because what we care most about is that employee is protected. And it doesn't matter who, might matter, but who's doing the providing for their protections, whether it's sick days or minimum wage and overtime and all those, we will have an employer of record. So that actually will help a lot of people who had questions under AB5. The other thing that we did was a major endeavor of this entire bill was to distinguish between a labor broker and a true referral agency. And we really struggled with this because it wasn't always clear when people are acting as a labor broker and calling themselves basically a referral agency. And we saw it's really crept into a lot of different aspects. And so last year we were trying to case by case say, yes, they can work as a referral agency. What we did finally is just say, everybody can work as a referral agency under certain circumstances if you're truly a referral agency. So, and we've expanded that, so that should take care of a lot of the questions people had about certified interpreters, as long as the individual doing the work is truly able to say yes or no to a job, that they're working under their own conditions, they're working as themselves, and really the referral agency or the company, if you will, is just doing the procedural stuff. Calling them up, do you want this job? Okay, we're processing the payment. They don't charge the worker, they charge the company client for that service. So that's the way the money flows. And the individual can say yes, they can say no, they go out on their own, they do it. It requires that individual to have a business license. That was the law before. I mean, this is nothing new. And the analysis was right. We're trying to figure out, because we made it almost seem like optional whether they're going to check it or not, and we will figure that piece out. It requires that if there is a certification necessary to do that job or available to do that job, that they have to have it. So you can't just have an interpreter who's not certified in Spanish, because we have Spanish certifications for interpreters. However, if it's an indigenous language, from Peru, that there's no certification available, there's no certification needed. So that's the way we dealt with it. The analysis suggested I think we finally got it right. We've been really struggling with ensuring that the individuals who are negotiating for themselves are able to do so, and that they're the quality, they have a skill that is desirable, and so they have the ability to better serve themselves. So this new referral language gives power to those independent contractors who are working under it, and hopefully prevents a referral agency from just being a labor broker and taking 50% of somebody's wages and the things that we've kind of seen historically, unfortunately, in a lot of low-wage careers. It also doesn't allow certain careers to fall under this, and those were the ones that are deemed, Cal OSHA has a designation as high hazard industries, where an individual has significantly higher risk of injury on the job. And the reason we don't want that is we don't want independent contractors in high risk jobs being referred out without workers' compensation. We don't want it to be used as a tool to avoid workers' compensation for, say, construction and, high-risk injury. So that hopefully, I think, will satisfy legitimate independent contractors in these fields that want to work independently, can work independently, and have the certifications to do so. We also have specific language that we have been working on for almost a year now, or a little over a year, captured in 2 sections. We have recording artists, musicians. We have greater clarity for our writers and photographers, multimedia professionals, and some exemptions that we started working out right after AB5 was passed. We still have work to do, and we are continuing to do the next set, which we will work with, if this passes, your committee staff as well as it moves into appropriations. I missed one that we added because I know we have also judges, independent judges, and not judge and jury judge, like judging a cattle show or a dance competition, that they're not employees. And we are trying to get in, amateur referees that they can work obviously through a referral agency, and then they're not employees. But the things that we're still working on, performing artists who present their own original work. So this has become an issue where performing artists own their own original work. And so they're not, and I'll give you the example, a comedian at a comedy club, they're directing themselves, they've created it, they want to own it, they don't want to work for somebody because there's a property issue then for the work. So we're crafting that now. That should also work for clowns and jugglers, and not that the chair cares deeply about some of these, but I know that there's some individual performances that individuals have to, they're not taking direction from anyone. That's not the same as somebody who's obviously acting in a play or something, where they're being directed precisely what to do. The relationship, we're also working on the relationship between 2 individual subcontractors. So this is interesting and tough, but if there are 2 independent contractors who are working together to satisfy one job, we're trying to get the language where they can have one check and split it, basically, through a contract. This happens in the wedding industry a lot. There might be a makeup artist. She can work for the bride. It doesn't matter. She's an independent contractor. And then the bride tells her, hey, I also want you to do my 7 bridesmaids. And she's like, oh, got to bring somebody. Well, right now, they'd have to get 2 separate checks from the bride so that they don't end up becoming each other's employers. So we're working out in those very limited steps where they could just split a check and everybody knows what everybody's getting moving in. So 2 independent contractors. We're continuing to amend language on videographers to clarify that it doesn't prevent people from, recording their kids' dance competition, putting it on the internet. The way people are reading things sometimes, we just want to make sure people understand, no, that's not what we're talking about. And I know there's one more at least, but those should hopefully be complete by the time, if we get out of here, in appropriations to continue to provide that clarification. Oh, the last one was also in the wedding industry, that if you are a wedding planner and you are simply contracting with a number of different vendors, but you're receiving one check, again, from the bride, that doesn't make you those vendors' employees. You are simply a contractor. So we're going to clarify that as well. And that's, I think, what we're left to. We are very hopeful, as we've made these changes, that they're more encompassing of a broader group. What we're trying to avoid doing is writing exemptions for individuals who don't need it. It's not a case-by-case basis. A lot of these are situations that run across a lot of different professions, and that's the tact we're taking with these amendments now. There are a couple that we have to write out straight out just to clarify, but we're hoping not to do many more of those. So with that, I am hopeful we have satisfied a lot of folks. That language is not in print. It was analyzed. The analysis covers our amended language, but it will, I think, be in print tomorrow.
And I think there's some more conversations that are ongoing related to some of the other issues, and you are accepting the amendments that are in the analysis today. Is that correct?
the required amendments.
that are outlined. I think there are some, and then there are other issues that were.
There's some we're still working on. There were some that were suggested. I don't want to accept the wrong amendments.
I think we've got the agreement down, yes.
Our amendments, yes.
And I think you'd already said that.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. And I don't see any lead support witnesses.
No, I didn't want to pain you guys.
Very good. So we will go to witnesses in the gallery for AB 2257. Seeing no one, we'll go to room 2040. Are there witnesses? No one in 2040 wishing to testify in support of AB 2257. So now we will go to moderator. Now move to witnesses waiting to testify via the teleconference service. Moderator, if you would please prompt the individuals waiting to testify in support of AB 2257, and then we will begin.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not already queued up for AB 2257 to show support, you may press 1 then 0 at this time. And first we'll go to line 281. Your line is open.
Yes, I'm sorry, but I'm in opposition.
All right, then you can, we'll get to that afterwards. Thank you. Moderator, please move on.
Yes, sir. Next we'll open line number 121. Your line is open.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members. This is Carl London of London and Gonzalez Advocacy, no relation, by the way. I'm here to express support on behalf of the Recording Industry Association of America and also the Music Artists Coalition. We appreciate Ms. Gonzalez's efforts on finding a solution with the music industry. I'm also here today on behalf of the California Physical Therapy Association, which has a support, if amended, position. AB5 Dynamex is, in fact, substantially economically harming the profession of physical therapy.
Thank you, Mr.
in
London.
4 key areas that we've surveyed. And we're trying to find a solution with that. We're hopeful that you'll help us find a fix.
Thank you, Mr. London. Appreciate that. Comments?
And next we'll open line 237.
Hi, my name is Crystal Vanderwall. I'm a nationally certified sign language interpreter from Costa Mesa. I support AB 2257 if amended to include a professional service exemption for real-time captioners and sign language interpreters.
Very good. Thank you.
Line 236, your line is open.
Good afternoon. This is Steve Wallace of Platinum Advisors on behalf of the California North Referee Administration. We are also in support of AB 2257 that's proposed to be amended to clarify the exemption for referees. We're looking forward to reviewing the language more closely to determine if other clarification.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
needed.
your testimony today. Thank you.
Line 231, your line is open.
Hello, my name is Dawn James. I'm a physical therapist from the 25th Senate District in California. I'm in support of this bill if amended to fix the issue with physical therapists in California.
Thank you very much.
Line 302, your line is open. 302, your line is open.
Oh, hello. This is Mercy Veneration. I'm from representing Master Healthcare Solutions, and I support AB 2257, representing physical therapists, occupational therapists, physical therapist assistants, and certified occupational therapist assistants.
Thank you.
Line 303, your line is open.
Hi, this is Tracy Martinez. I'm a physical therapist. I support the bill with the inclusion of physical therapists.
Thank you.
Line 232, your line is open.
Hi, this is Dylan Gibbons with the California Special Districts Association with a supportive amended position to include rec and park class instructors. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
294, your line is open.
Mr. Chairman, members, Mike Knutson on behalf of the Real Estate Evaluation Association. The appraiser clarification is very important. We support the bill.
Thank you.
218, your line is open.
Good afternoon. My name is Alicia Calzada, and on behalf of the National Press Photographers Association, we support AB 2257 if amended, and we draw your attention to our written testimony.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your comments today. Thank you.
Line 90, your line is open.
Good afternoon, Chair and members. My name is Peyton Trollman, and as an independent performer, physical therapist student from the 69th District of California, I do support the inclusion of the amendment to AB 2257 to address the hardships created by the
Thank
AB
you very much. I
5
appreciate your
environmental
testimony.
ruling.
May I remind everyone on the line that we are here to testify your name, your affiliation, and your position on the legislation, and that is it. Thank you.
Line 141, your name and your position.
My name is Teresa Lugottman, a physical therapist, and I support the inclusion of the amendment of AB 2257 to address physical therapy practice.
Thank you.
Line 293, your line is open.
Good afternoon. My name is Valerie Taglia. I'm a physical therapist from Valencia, California, and I support AB 2257 if amended.
Thank you.
Line 264, your line is open.
Mr. Chair, members, Sarah Phlox, California Labor Federation. We are a straight support position. Thank you.
Thank you.
282, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Katie Rickard. I'm calling from Sacramento in support of AB 2257 if amended to include professional services exemption for real-time captioners and sign language interpreters.
Thank you.
Line 182, your line is open. 182, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Kevin McCartney. I'm a physical therapist assistant from the 49th District of California, and I support the inclusion of the amendment of AB 2257.
Thank you.
Line 45, your line is open.
Yes, my name is Rick Katz. I'm the president of the California Physical Therapy Association, and I support AB 2257 if amended.
Thank you for your testimony.
Line 79, your line is open.
Amy Durbin with the California Medical Association. I just want to thank the author for all the work on this one with us and proposed amendments. Do have a couple outstanding things to work through, but look forward to continuing this conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Line 83, your line is open.
Hi, this is Mel Veneration, physical therapist from District 40, and I support the inclusion of the amendment of AB 2257.
Thank you.
Line 71, your line is open.
Hi, my name is John Paul Rivera. I'm a physical therapist from the 38th District of California, and I support the inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257 to address the hardships of AB 5.
Thank you.
Line 14, your line is open.
Yes, my name is Madeline Newman-Rios, and I conditionally support this as improvement, but it also includes certified translators who were included in 1850.
Thank you very much.
Line 213, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Peter Nguyen, physical therapist, the 8th District of California. I support inclusion of an amendment, AB 2257.
Thank you.
Line 117, your line is open.
Good afternoon. My name is Martha Dempson, president of the Theatrical Producers League of Los Angeles. The league supports the bill if amended to cover small nonprofit theaters that act as incubators.
Thank you very much for your testimony.
Line 155, your line is open. 155, your line is open. With no response, we'll move on to line 216. Your line is open.
Hi, my name is Joanne Heimers. I'm from Venice, California. I support AB 2257 if amended. Please include professional services exemption for real-time captioners and sign language interpreters. We are essential.
Appreciate your testimony. Thank you.
Line 219, your line is open.
Hello, my name is Ryan Florence, a physical therapist student from the 68th District of California, and I support inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257.
Thank you.
Line 257, your line is open.
Hello, my name is Sabina Infante. I'm a nationally certified sign language interpreter from Santa Rosa, California. I support AB 2257 if amended to include a professional service exemption for real-time captioners and sign language interpreters. Thank you.
Line 126, your line is open. 126, your line is open.
Yes, hello. My name is Stephanie, and I am a longtime nationally certified sign language interpreter. I also represent the Southern California Registry of Interpreters for the Deaf, and we are in support of AB 2257 if it includes an exemption, a professional exemption for real-time captioners and sign language interpreters. Thank you.
Thank you.
Line 64, your line is open. Line 64, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Jyoti from District 19. I'm a physical therapist and I support the inclusion of amendment of the.
Thank you.
Line 153, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Eugene Montero. I'm a longtime independent contractor and a physical therapist. I am in full support of AB 2257.
Thank you.
Line 13, your line is open.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Lily Thompson. As a physical therapist, I support AB 2257 with an amendment to address the problems created regarding access to
Thank you very much. Appreciate your testimony today. Thank you.
Line 151, your line is open.
Hi, I'm Chris Reed, Palo Alto, California. I'm a business owner, physical therapist, and the Government Affairs Committee Chair for the California Physical Therapy Association. I appreciate your patience today as we've all adjusted to these new processes. We are in support.
Thank you.
Line 80, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Stella Wu. I'm a physical therapy student from the 40th District of California, and I support inclusion of Amendment AB 2257.
Thank you.
Line 234, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Mark Abraham. I'm a physical therapist, and I'm from District 42 in California, and I support the inclusion of the amendment for the AB 2257. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Line 233, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Catherine Wally. I'm a nationally certified sign language interpreter for Walnut Creek. I support AB 2257. It's amended to include a professional service exemption for real-time captioners and sign language interpreters.
Thank you.
Line 300, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Marissa Blanc. I'm from District 6. I'm a physical therapist, and I am in support of AB 2257. Thank you.
Thank you.
Line 301, your line is open.
My name is Amanda Reeve, a physical therapist from the Greater LA District of California. As a licensed professional with a graduate degree, I support inclusion of the amendment to AB 2257.
Thank you.
Line 295, your line is open.
My name is Melissa Alvarez, a licensed physical therapist from the 40th District. I support inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Line 263, your line is open.
Yes, my name is Cindy Farnham. I am a sign language interpreter, nationally certified in Sacramento. I support AB 2257 if amended to include a professional services exemption for real-time captioners.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your testimony today.
Line 185, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Erica West Oyedele. I work as an American Sign Language interpreter. I also run the training program for interpreters at American River College and a specialty grant from the Department of Education for interpreters, and I support AB 2257.
Thank you.
Line 306, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Dennis Reeves, a physical therapist from the Inland District of California. I support the inclusion of an amendment to 257.
Thank you.
Line 289, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Kevin Bowen, a therapist from San Diego District, California. I support the amendment to AB 2257. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you for the testimony.
309, your line is now open.
My name is Cheryl Resnick. I'm a physical therapist from the 25th District of California, and I support inclusion of an amendment for PT to AB 2257. Thank you.
Thank you.
120, your line is now open. 120, your line is open. Moving on to line number 58, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Dr. Adam Shepard, a physical therapist from the 22nd District of California, and I support inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257. Thank you.
Line 20, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Leonor Diaz. I'm a physical therapist for the 22nd District of California. I support the inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257. Thank you.
Thank you.
Line 310, your line is now open.
My name is Rudy Acosta, a physical therapist in the San Diego District of California. As a licensed professional with a graduate degree, I support an inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257.
Thank you.
102, your line is now open. 102, your line is open.
My name is Diana Taylor, physical therapist assistant from the Inland Country District of California. As a licensed professional with a graduate degree, I support the inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257.
Thank you very much.
Line 92, your line is now open.
Hello, my name is Armin Shaverdi. I'm a physical therapist from the San Diego District. Home health care providers, physical, occupational, speech therapists are essential, and we would support an amendment for AB 2257.
Thank you.
Line 244, your line is open.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members. Greg Hayes with Strategies 360 on behalf of both Shutterstock and Getty Images in support of AB 2257.
Thank you.
Line 22, your line is open.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members. Lauren De Valencia representing the American Planning Association. We currently do not have a position on the bill, but would likely support the bill if amended to address the concerns as it relates to public agencies and our members who provide critical planning and consulting work to those agencies.
I appreciate your testimony. Thank you.
Line 316, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Britt Enriquez, a physical therapist from the San Diego District of California. As a licensed professional with a graduate degree, I support inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257.
Thank you.
Line 99, your line is open.
Oh, hi. My name is Enrico Dalise, a licensed physical therapist from the 33rd District of California, in support of the amendment to the AB 2257 to address the hardships created by AB 5. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Line 321, your line is open.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Mitch Kay. I'm a physical therapist from District 27, and I am in favor of the amendment. It includes an amendment to allow physical therapists to be independent contractors.
Great, thank you.
Line 270, your line is open. Line 270, your line is open. With no response, we'll open line number 55. Your line is now open.
My name is Tamara Campbell, a physical therapist from the Inland County District of California, and I support inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257.
Thank you so much. Next witness.
Line 308, your line is now open. 308, your line is open. With no response, we'll open line number 285. Your line is open.
Hello, my name is Giselle Tan. I'm a physical therapist from San Francisco, California, and I support the inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257 to address hardships created by AB 5. Thank you.
Thank you. Next witness.
Line 215, your line is open.
Good afternoon. My name is Keith Ponce, a physical therapist student from the 68th District of California, and I support inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next witness.
Line 318, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Alma Garcia, a physical therapist from San Diego District of California, and I support inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257.
Thank you. Next witness.
Line 339, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Catherine Marte, a physical therapist assistant from San Diego District of California, and I support the inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257.
Thank you so much. Next witness.
332, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Melanie Hart. I'm a certified sign language interpreter from South Lake Tahoe, California. I support AB 2257 if amended to include professional service exception.
Thank you so much. Next witness.
Line 88, your line is open. Line 88, your line is open.
Yes. I'm Paul Smith from Senate District 8, Assembly District 23, and I support, if amended, AB 2257 to create safe harbor exemption for PTs and physical therapist assistants. Thank you.
Thank you. Next witness.
Line 337, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Spencer Larson, a physical therapist from the Greater Los Angeles District of California. As a licensed professional with a graduate degree, I support inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257 for physical, occupational, and speech therapy. Thank you.
Thank you. Next witness.
341, your line is open.
Kathy Garmazy on behalf of the California IATSE Council and the Entertainment Union Coalition in support.
Thank you. Next witness.
314, your line is open.
Good afternoon. My name is Zachary Smith, a qualified sign language interpreter and sole proprietor of Z Smith Interpreting, based in Folsom, California. I support AB 2257 if amended to include qualified sign language interpreters and real-time captioners as mandated by the ADA under the profession.
Thank you so much. Next witness.
Line 320, your line is open.
Hello, this is Lacey Easton. I'm an American Sign Language interpreter from El Dorado County, and I'm calling on behalf of myself as an independent business owner and in support of the deaf community's right to accessible communication. And unfortunately, due to this committee's lack of compliance of ADA mandates, the deaf Californians cannot equally access.
Sorry. Thank you so much. No testimony at this time. Next witness.
Line 340. Yes, sir. 343, your line is open.
My name is Virginia Gamble, a licensed physical therapy from San Diego, California, and I support inclusion of amendment to AB 2257.
Thank you so much. Next witness.
Line 347, your line is open.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members. John Norwood on behalf of the Insurance Field Services Association, and we're in support of this bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next witness.
349, your line is open. 349, your line is now open. With no response, we'll open line 292. Your line is open.
Good afternoon. Mariana Benzian-Larkin, President of the Association of Independent Judicial Interpreters of California. We support if amended to allow interpreters to subcontract
Thank you very much.
other
Appreciate
interpreters.
your testimony
Thank you so
today.
much.
Next witness, please.
351, your line is open.
Greetings. My name is Dr. Mario Moncada from Los Angeles. I am a physical therapist, and I support an amendment to AB 2257 to include physical therapy.
Thank you.
344, your line is open.
My name is Felicia Price. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I am in support of AB 225 for licensed real-time captioners and.
Thank you.
328, your line is open.
Good afternoon. My name is Karen Garrity. I'm a musician and music contractor, and I am in support of AB 2257. Thank you.
Thank you.
Line 92, your line is open. 92, your line is open. Moving on to line 120, your line is open. 120, your line is open. 356, your line is now open.
Yeah, hi, my name is Brittany Torian, a physical therapist assistant from the San Diego District in California. As licensed professional with graduate degree, I support inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Appreciate your calling.
288, your line is open.
Yes. Hi, my name is Teresa Sedano, and I'm a sign language interpreter in support of AB 2257.
Thank you.
238, your line is open. 238, your line is open.
Mr. Chair and members, Mandy Lee on behalf of the Association of Independent Judicial Interpreters of California. We are sort of a tweener. We appreciate the amendments the author has taken and look forward to working out our outstanding issues to allow for interpreters to subcontract. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
362, your line is open.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Myers from Modesto, California. I support AB 2257 if amended to include qualified sign language.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
361, your line is open.
My name is May Trong, a licensed physical therapist from San Diego, California, and I support inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your testimony.
339, your line is open. 339, your line is open. 365, your line is open.
Good afternoon. This is Jeff Hansen with the International Franchise Association. We would support Senate Bill or Assembly Bill 2257 as a.
Thank you.
317, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Martha Ramirez, a physical therapist assistant from the San Diego District of California, and I support inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257.
Thank you.
316, your line is open. 316, your line is open. With no response, we'll open line number 273. Your line is open.
Hi, my name is Lydia Perez. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I support AB 2257. It's amended to include professional.
Thank you.
371, your line is open.
Hi, sign language interpreter calling to support an amendment to include qualified sign language interpreters and real-time captioners in the professional service exemption to AB 2257. Thank you.
Move on, please.
364, your line is open.
Hi, Beatrice Casagran from the Theatrical Producers League of Los Angeles. We support with an amendment to for a partial exemption for small nonprofit theaters.
Thank you.
325, your line is open. 325, your line is open. With no response, we'll open line 373.
My name is Amber DeGeorge, a speech-language pathologist from San Diego, and I support inclusion of an amendment to AB 2257.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your testimony today, please. Next witness.
281, your line is open.
Hello?
Yes, we hear you.
Hello?
Yes, please go,
yeah,
go ahead.
So I just want to make sure I'm in queue to speak up.
Your line is open to speak.
Oh, yeah. Hi.
Name and affiliation.
I'm still in opposition.
Well, we're taking support testimony right now. So you can call back after. Thank you. Please, next witness, please.
Yes, sir. 375, your line is now open.
My name is Stephanie Goff again. I'm from San Diego, California. I support AB 2257 if amended to include professional.
Thank you.
376, your line is now open.
Amy Golden, certified sign language interpreter. I support AB 2257 if amended to include interpreter.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not already queued up, please press 1 then 0 to show support for AB 2257 at this time. Line 272, your line is open.
Mr. Chair and members, Matt Broad on behalf of SAG-AFTRA in support. Thank you.
Thank you.
120, your line is open. 120, your line is open. Moving on, line 379, your line is open. 379, your line is open. No response. We're moving on to line 155. Your line is open.
Hi, this is Tom Sheehy representing the Language Access Professionals Association in support of amended. Appreciate working with the author.
Thank you.
Line 339, your line is open. 339, your line is open.
Oh, hi. My name is Mary Prince, occupational therapist from San Diego, and I support inclusion amendment to AB 2257.
Line 339, your line is now open. 339 has removed themselves from queue. We'll move on to 357. Your line is open.
350.
Your line is open, ma'am. Please go ahead. 357, your line is open.
I can't unmute myself.
Your line is open. Moving on, we're open line 358. Your line is open.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Guadalupe Manriquez with COPTIC. That's Coalition of Practicing Translators and Interpreters. I'm in favor of 2257 to amend professional.
Thank you.
315, your line is open.
Good afternoon. My name is Lori Slama. I'm a physical therapist from District 18, and I am in support of AB 2257. Thank you.
Thank you.
270, your line is now open. 270, your line is open. No response. We'll open line 381. Your line is now open.
Yes, hello, Shelley Browning, sign language interpreter, and I support 22857 if amended to 2257, excuse me, if amended to.
Thank you.
373, your line is open. .373, your line is open. And at this time, sir, we have no one else showing support. Please continue.
Would you please check one more time to make sure we've covered all those who wish to speak in support?
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've not pressed the commands of 1 and 0, you may now do so to show support for AB 2257. Line 380, your line is open.
Hi, my name is Kate Murray. I'm a book editor and copywriter in San Diego, calling in support of AB 2257. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 92. Please. Line 92, your line is open.
Walk down.
We can hear you.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Please go for.
Yes,
go ahead.
we
We
can
hear
hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, my name is Alfredo Castro. I'm an occupational therapist, and I'm in support of AB 2257 for all home health care therapists.
Thank you
Ms.
very much.
Gonzalez,
Thank
let's make some changes.
Next, we'll go to line 373. Please go ahead.
My name is Hope Pittner, a speech therapist from San Diego, and I am in support of AB 2257.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 379. Please go ahead. Line 379, your line is now open. All right, next we'll go to line 270. Please go ahead. Line 270, you may be muted on your end. Your line is now open. All right, next we'll go to line 395. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Mary Prince, occupational therapist from San Diego, and I support inclusion to AB 2257.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 388. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jessica Gomez. I'm from Buena Park. I'm a captioner, and I'm in support of AB 2257.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 392. Please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Suzanne Wasser. I'm from Culver City, California. I support the American Disabilities Act. I'm a captioner. Please include professional services exemption for real-time captioners.
Thank you for your testimony today. I appreciate it. Next witness.
Next, we'll go to line 284. Please go ahead. Line 284, your line is now open. All right, so next we'll go to line 384. Please go ahead. Actually, no one there. Next we'll go to line 3 379, please go ahead. Line 379, your line is now open. Next, we'll go to line 92. Please go ahead. Your line is now open.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Carl Fitzgerald. I'm an occupational therapist who works with therapy companies. We'd like to continue providing subcontracting services for therapy companies and home health care that provides for the Medicare population.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll next go to line 397. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Adrian Duncan. I'm an independent musician, and I'm representing Independent Music Professionals United, and we are in support of AB 2257.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 398. Please go ahead.
Randy Pollock on behalf of the International Franchise Association, and we support this amended to protect franchising. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 403. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Danica Pinner.
And I'm Nick Campbell, and we're both musicians in LA, and we support AB 2257.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 316. Please go ahead. Line 316, your line is now open. All right, next we'll go to line 404. Please go ahead.
Hi, this is Bill Barnaby of Sacramento, urging support for continued COVID-19 treatment by California perfusionists, if amended into the bill.
Thank you very much.
Next we'll go to line 400. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is David Poller. I'm an independent photographer in San Diego. I urge support if amended. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 402. Please go ahead.
Mr. Chair and members, Melanie Cuevas with the California Bankers Association, supportive of amendments addressing appraisers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 407. Please go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Yes. Oh, got it. My name is Alicia Spilius, and I'm a musician and a contractor, and I am in support of 2257.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 406. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Brian Asher Al-Hadif. I'm the Artistic and General Director of Opera San Luis Obispo, and I represent 800 independent contractor musicians. And I am vehemently opposed to AB.
Oh, we're on support at this point. Next witness, please.
Next, we'll go to line 408. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Elaine Spellman, and I'm from Oak Park. I am a cart captioner, a real-time captioner for the hard of hearing community, and I support AB 2257 if amended to please include professional services exemption for real-time captioners and sign language.
Next witness, please.
Next, we'll go to line 92. Please go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Gonzalez, my name is Armin Shaverdi, and I am calling on behalf of home health care therapists in California. We have graduate degrees.
Thank you.
And as a reminder, to show support on AB 2257 for support, please press 1 then 0 now. Again, 1 then 0 for support of AB 2257. We'll next go to line 284. Please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Kavita Papalia, and I'm calling through a sign language interpreter, and I am the president of the California Association of the Deaf, and I support AB 2257 to...
Thank you.
All right. Next, we'll go to line 270. Please go ahead.
Mr. Chair and members, Caitlin Vega for the Transport Workers Union of America and strong support.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 417. Please go ahead. Oh. Line 417, please go ahead.
My name is Jesse Goffigan. I'm from San Diego, California. I support AB 2257 if amended to include a professional service exemption for real-time captioners.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 412. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Oh, yes, we hear you.
Yes, hello. My name is Maisha, and I am opposed to AB 22.
We're on support at this point, but thank you for the testimony.
All right. And then as a reminder, to show support of AB 2257, again, support for AB 2257, 1 then 0 now. Again, this is for support of AB 2257. And we have no one in queue at the moment.
Very good, thank you. Having heard from all of the supporters, we will now follow the same process and hear from any opposition. I do not have a lead opposition witness online or in the schedule. So we will now move to anyone in the gallery who is here to speak in opposition to AB 2257. Seeing no one. In room 2040, is there anyone speaking in opposition to AB 2257? I see no one there as well. So we'll now move to witnesses waiting to testify via the teleconference service. Moderator, if you would please prompt the individuals waiting to testify in opposition of AB 2257, we will then begin.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you oppose of AB 2257, please press 1 then 0 now. Again, this is for opposition for AB 2257. Please press 1 then 0 now. We'll go to line 322. Please go ahead.
Yes, this is Lorena Ortiz-Schneider, professional translator and interpreter, and founder of the Coalition of Practicing Translators and Interpreters of California. And unless amended to include professional
Thank you very
translators
much.
and
We appreciate
interpreters
the
on the
testimony. Thank you. We understand.
All right, so we'll next go to line 406. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Brian Asher Al-Hadif. I'm the Artistic and General Director of Opera San Luis Obispo, representing 800 Central Coast independent musician contractors, and we vehemently oppose AB 2257.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 412. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Hello. We hear you.
This is Maisha. Yes, this is Maisha. And I am, this is me again. I am opposed to the AB 2257 because it is not inclusive for ASL.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 63. Please go ahead.
Yes, this is Steve Catolica with the Independent Physical Therapists of California. We are coming at it slightly differently. We are opposed unless amended to include physical therapists.
And then next, we'll go to line 421. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Brian Asher Al-Hadif.
Next witness, please.
Next, we'll go to line 382. Please go ahead. Line 382, your line is open. And then again, for opposing bill AB 2257, please press 1 then 0 now. Again, 1 then 0 for opposing AB 2257. We'll next go to line 297. Please go ahead. Line 297, you're open. All right, so next we'll go to line 421. Please go ahead.
From District 29, as a certified interpreter, please, I oppose unless they add professional translators.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Next witness, please.
And next we'll go to line 430. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Martha Zaragoza Diaz, and I am representing the California Music Educators Association, and we are in opposed unless amended.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your testimony today.
All right, and again, to oppose AB 2257, 1 then 0 now. Please press 1 then 0 to oppose AB 2257 now. Next, we'll go to line 120. Please go ahead. Line 120, your line is open. All right, and then we do have one other person in queue. It'll be just a moment. And as a reminder, it's 1 then 0 to oppose. We'll next go to line, 1 second. We have about 3 in the queue at the moment.
Very good.
We'll go to line 432. Please go ahead.
Yes, somebody else is still speaking.
We hear you, sir.
432. Please go ahead.
My name is Bill Weber. I'm an interpreter for the U.S. Department of State and Vice President of the American Association of Language Specialists, and I speak in opposition to two.
All right. And next, we'll go to line 435. Please go ahead. Line 435, your line is open.
Is it my turn?
All right. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Hi, I am Catherine Keller, Certified Sign Language Interpreter, Assemblywoman Gonzalez, until amended to exempt Sign Language Interpreter.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 278. Please go ahead.
Hello, I'm David Pinto, Director of the Nonprofit Academy of Music for the Blind. I represent after-school nonprofit music schools serving.
Then again, to oppose AB 2257, please press 1 then 0. Again, to oppose AB 2257, please press 1 then 0 now. It looks like we have about 4 in the queue. We'll go to line 406. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Speaker and Chair. I'm coming from Civic Ballet San Luis Obispo and State Street Ballet Santa Barbara. Our orchestras oppose 2253. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 438. Please go ahead.
Yes, this is Teresa Sedano, and I oppose AB 2257 unless amended for sign language interpreters and real-time captioners.
Thank you very much.
And next, we'll go to line 440. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my name is David Gerard. I'm a physical therapist, and I'm with the California Physical Therapy Association in California, and I support inclusion of Amendment AB 2.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so we'll next go to line 437, and again, this is for opposition of AB 2257. Please go ahead.
Hi, I'm calling from Los Angeles County. My name is Chris Myers, and I'm a deaf individual in opposition to AB 2257 unless amended to include a professional exemption for sign language.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and we have no one else in queue at the moment.
Very good. Thank you very much. So thank you to all the support and opposition witnesses. We will now bring the discussion back to members. And I just wanted to let the members of the committee and authors know that we have a hard stop this evening at 7 p.m. And those bills not heard will be heard on the 11th with the remaining 16 bills that we have there. So now, bring it back to the members. Any questions or comments? Oh, yes, Senator Mitchell.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to just make sure I understood. I appreciate the author's hard work on this. Sorry for my back to you, over the course of the year. But in listening to some of the opposition, unless amended, I just want to go through a short list to make sure I'm clear about who she intends to deal with. So I want to make sure that, and then correct my language if I use the wrong terminology, Assembly Member, certified ASL translators. or interpreters?
Certified ASL translators, or interpreters rather, and can work through a referral agency, yes, specifically, and remain independent contractors.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you, Senator Mitchell. Senator Jackson.
Yes, I want to thank you for taking on this extraordinary task. The sad thing is this is happening, this Dynamex decision and the ABC criteria occurred because of abuses that started with employers really taking advantage of people. But there are some independent contractors who have legitimately and historically been independent, and I know that we had quite a conversation last year. I appreciate the openness with which you have responded to concerns, legitimate concerns in many cases. I suspect this isn't the end of the issue. I'm sorry to say that, but I wanted to thank you for doing your best. I know this has been very emotional and volatile for a lot of people who feel, and perhaps rightly so, that their future incomes are at risk. It would be great if we had a more national policy so that we didn't end up with 50 different states having 50 different ways to look at this, and perhaps in the future that if we have a federal government that is committed to fairness with employees, that this might occur. But in the interim, California is definitely trying, I think, to protect workers, which is the ultimate goal here. And yet there are so many nuances here, and I know we heard from a lot of people who expressing their frustration that they aren't included or that they should be included, and I know that you will continue to work with an open mind, but always with the notion that we need to protect working people so that they're not taken advantage of. So I want to thank you for that effort, and I would like to move the bill.
Very good. Thank you, Senator Pan. And then I know Senator Morell has a question as well.
Thank you, and I too want to thank you, Senator Gonzalez, for doing this bill. I would point out that, of course, this started with the Dynamex decision by the California Supreme Court, and in fact, in many ways, AB5 sort of describes some of the exceptions. So some people who say, well, AB5 is what caused everything. Actually, Dynamex, if there was no AB5, then everyone would still, basically all the people who are complaining about AB5 would still have the same situation. And then, of course, this is a further effort at trying to address, sort of comport that decision perhaps with more of what we've done historically. But the other part I also want to point out, and certainly here, as we're experiencing COVID, the importance of the various employee protections and benefits that we have put into California law, and some, also federally in the federal law as well, and how important they are. So while certainly appreciate that many people, want flexibility and other types of things, and perhaps maybe we should be looking at some of that in our own employment law, it is still, in terms of being sure people have protections, it's still better for people to be employees if possible. And I think that's basically what the Supreme Court said, and that is, I think, where we want to try to go. We've just had another bill we talked about with UI and unemployment, and that again was a safety net for people who were laid off because of COVID, but also other things can happen when people get laid off as well, and that's why we have unemployment insurance to start with. So I think it's something that's very important we have to remember as to why employment is still, the basis in which actually we've chosen as this country, and unlike perhaps some other countries who've actually providing more benefits directly to the population through government instead of through employment. We have chosen to do it through employment, so that makes employment much more important. I understand, certainly heard from various people who want amendments and exceptions, but what I do also appreciate with this particular bill that you, Senator Gonzalez, is that instead of trying to pick off profession by profession, we're trying to create more systematic rules, right? So we have the the business-to-business clarification, also the part that you said about the referral agencies. And I hope that as people are thinking about, their profession, their role, to think about how they might actually fit into that framework instead of trying to say, well, I want to just get carved out for my particular profession. Actually, for example, this bill does deal with interpreters. And, but you have to be a certified interpreter unless there's no certification. So I guess there's some people who aren't certified who are interpreting for something that's, that does have a certification, may not perhaps want to pursue a certification or feel that's a necessary barrier. Well, I mean, I think that, I don't think it's a failure of the bill that we didn't try to address that. And I believe sign language is a certified interpreting. So it's not that the issue is entirely neglected. I certainly understand if there are some further concerns. But I really do encourage people to look at this framework. I know that you're continuing to work on this, and I think it's very important. But I do appreciate that we're trying to take more of an approach of looking at this systematically instead of trying to pick off profession by profession, creating this, this particular profession, that particular profession, instead of saying, how do we systematically go through that? So with that, I certainly pleased to support the bill and encourage your continued work on moving this forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pan. And now we'll go remotely to Vice Chair Morell.
Yes, thank you, Assembly Member Gonzalez. Thank you for
waiting to get you on. There you are.
Okay. Thank you, Assembly Member Gonzalez, for adding some, carving some more out here. I want to thank you for that. Just want to share one thing with you and then ask you a couple of easy questions here. I had a young lady who's a physical therapist, and she told me she works for 12 different doctors because the doctors that she works for do not have enough work to hire full-time. So she's an independent contractor. Dr. Jones will say, go over to Mrs. Smith's house this afternoon. She had surgery on her shoulder and give her physical therapy. And so her question to me is, how do I navigate that? Because these doctors aren't going to hire her under a W-2 because, they don't know how many hours to bill her for an example. And so so there's other people like that. Respiratory therapists, somebody mentioned that they think they got a carve out for the speech therapist. So there's a lot of other challenges here as we go. I think about the tow truck drivers too. Caterers, I don't know how a caterer could not be an independent contractor. And so can you, well, first of all, I'm going to vote for this bill because you are carving out for some other industries, but we still seem like we have more to go. So could you walk me through a couple of those industries that I mentioned, especially maybe the physical therapist and the respiratory therapist, how you envision the example I gave of one lady who works for 12 different doctors, how is she going to be W-2'd? Thank you, by the way.
Thank you. First, the premise that somebody can't work for 12 different employers, I know this is shocking to people, but this actually happens. You can receive 12 W-2s. We talk to any IATSE stagehand and they'll tell you how many W-2s that they get for different employers throughout the year. That happens. So that's one way they could do it. The other way is they are able to form their own business and truly form their own business and have a business-to-business relationship. Might it change a little bit in how they're doing their paperwork, how they're filing their taxes? It might, but it's a formalization of their own business, so we know that those requirements are being taken care of by somebody, basically, that we so desperately need. I mean, we've talked a lot. Right now, I would hate to be a healthcare provider and not have workers' compensation or not have some sort of access to SDI or paid leave given what's happening in healthcare. So it just requires a formalization, and that is another way that's achievable or possible. They could also, they might be able to also work through a referral agency. And so under those circumstances, that's why we brought in these categories to not call out every single profession, but said this is how you can achieve remaining an independent contractor or a small business and work in this fashion if that's what's going to work for you. There are rules. There's going to be rules. There's rules to running a business. There's rules to being an employer, and those rules are going to exist. I do want to point out this, and one of the things we've done over this last year before COVID especially, it's been a little harder because EDD is really busy, is when people would come to us and talk about an exemption, we would ask EDD how many audits that they did in that field, what they found in those audits, how many misclassified workers there were, because we remember when we're taking away their protections under AB5. We're telling a whole host of workers out there, the only way you're going to get recourse is through a long litigated process under Borrello, right? And that's what happened before, and it's not fair to workers. So we said, is this a real problem? And some of the issues that have been brought up in the healthcare professionals in the 18 months before this bill, there were 892 audits investigations. They found 10,587 misclassified workers. It's happening, and that was under Borrello. This isn't under AB5. This isn't under Dynamics. So we know that this is a issue, and we need to get to that. A lot of the exemptions people are asking for were never legal under Borrello. You cannot. So I'm going to name a couple of these because I think people get shocked. I'm not sure. I heard cater. Well, the cater, you can have a catering company, but you can't have people working for you in that catering company that are bartenders or chefs. And I'm not sure how you would ever satisfy the terms of Borrello because they're under your control. They're doing what you're asking them to do at the time they're asking them to do, often dressed as you're asking them to do it. They, in any circumstance, would be an employee. So this wasn't legal before, and exempting them would put them right back under Borrello and would just mean that these workers had to go through a long litigated process in order to get their rights. We heard from, trying to think of what Senator Morrell, the other issues he brought up. He said cater, physical therapist, and then I do want to bring, I think that was the two professions, and if he wants another one, I can walk through it.
He said respiratory. Senator Morrell, did you?
There were other professions. It's just the logistics. I've read a couple of studies from, there's studies out there by some economic think tanks that, they're forecasting that this will affect 1 million jobs. So that, especially, we're kind of in a precarious position here with COVID and the economy. And so that's kind of the long-term effect that I'm concerned about on our economy when you displace maybe another million workers, perhaps. Maybe it's only 500,000. That's still a lot of people, but it is a big disruption into their lives. So I just think, we have to think about those things because we want California to stay competitive, but it just seems like we're doing a lot of things to make us less competitive. And we're sort of putting roadblocks in a lot of people's ways. So anyway, those are just my concerns. And those concerns, by the way, are based on a number of people that have come to me and talked to me, and they're concerned about their livelihoods. So you answered my questions, but that was just the general direction I was going.
Great. Thank you, Vice Chair Morrell. I appreciate the comments and certainly the questions. And Assemblymember Gonzalez, I mean, you've really taken this on, and I think I really have to congratulate you for it because it is not an easy task. And for every question someone asks, there are 4 other questions that come up, and that leads you to something else. So I appreciate it, and I think we've heard from my colleagues and from the community and certainly the professions that the issue of the business to business, which is, as Dr. Pan mentioned, by broadening that, or at least clarifying and putting some parameters around that, makes it such improves where we were so much. And the referral agency, the legitimacy that can be outlined through that, I think it really, and certainly the certification for interpreters is a major benefit for a lot of us. And I know you're working on the performing arts and some of the issues that related there, and certainly with COVID right now, I think it's critical that the arts community is looked at and that we can find a path for them. The one area that I am concerned, that kind of the small medical groups who are really at a kind of a huge economic disadvantage now. So I'm hoping that we can look at that and see where, because they've got hospitals they're fighting with, insurance companies they're fighting with, and I think they need some more specific statutory guidance there. So hopefully you can work with them in some way as the bill moves and we can see how it works out. But I'm happy to support the bill today as all of the iterations that we've seen and the work that you've done has been just much appreciated. And and there's no one that understands this issue better than you, and we all appreciate that very much in here. So we do have at the appropriate time, but would you like to close, Assemblymember?
I would, thank you. I just want to, I want to put some clarity on that 1 million number that Senator Morell used. There are about 1 million independent contractors in California, that's true. And so I guess you could suggest this may affect up to 1 million people. That is not true. And I'll tell you why. First of all, there are plenty of independent contractors who fall under the ABC test, who don't, they provide their services. And I'll give an example, in fact, because I think it's so important. There's so much misinformation out there right now. So right now, people are asking a lot about tutors, right? Can I get a tutor? Yeah, you can hire, you as an individual, you can hire somebody to come in your house, and I'm scared to say in your house because you might be creating a household employee, but you can hire somebody to come and say, okay, what days are you available? My third grader needs some help with math. They can be an independent contractor. You pay them directly, that's completely legal. They never fall under the ABC test. They fall under the ABC test. They're in control of their own services. They're serving in their independent business, and you don't have tutoring as your usual course of business. So when people start, it's like that's allowed. Now, I got nervous when I said that because I said in your house, and there are rules, tax rules that predate AB5 about workers in your house, but in that situation, a tutor can. If you brought in a full-time child care provider, that's a whole different situation, obviously. So I want people to realize that many of these rules existed before. Those rules still exist. But there are legitimate independent contractors who this is not an issue for, in that million or so workers. And then, of course, there's all the exemptions we've made already. So those workers are not really being affected. And then finally, yes, there's hundreds of thousands of workers that are being affected. I will name some of them today. Today, the labor commissioner filed on behalf of hundreds of thousands of Uber and Lyft drivers who have not received enough minimum wage. They filed in Alameda Court because 5,000 of them had filed wage claims in the labor commissioner's office. Yeah, they're being affected, but that's a good effect. If they get made whole from the hours of lost income, that's a positive effect. We know that this does change the course of people's lives in different ways. And it's important to know who truly, the majority of the independent contractors in our state are service workers, and we're misclassified. Not a majority were necessarily misclassified, but the service workers that were independent contractors, yes, their lives are changing because now they don't have to go through a lengthy court case to find out that they were misclassified, and the labor commissioner can do her job, which she's doing today. So I want to point that out. I also, I know, because I keep getting on, we heard from some symphonies. Again, there is no way I could understand that you could have a group of musicians coming to perform at a certain time, doing what a conductor is telling them to perform together, dressed a certain way, doing things a certain form that would ever pass Borello. So it doesn't make sense that we would exempt them out. Symphonies and live operas, they've traditionally, in fact, been employees of those theaters. So I want to point that out. We also know that there were 4,338 misclassified musicians before AB5. That's the data from EDD. That there are musicians, we're not talking about a band who plays, at a restaurant on a Saturday, but there are musicians who are going to what is a job and have been misclassified. So I feel like we've done our homework on this. We definitely try to look at each individual case. We've created a framework, hopefully, that will fit for most people. But labor laws exist, and they've existed for a long time. And a lot of the things that people are bringing up maybe were never legal, and just people didn't realize that. And we need to enforce those laws that have been on the books for a long time, and some people didn't get caught. And, I think of an employer maybe has to change their business model now. They might be relieved that they didn't end up with all those fines and fees and get sued at one point, and now they can provide the benefits to workers that they deserve. So thank you for humoring me with that. And please, if people have questions too, I just encourage them to call our offices on some of this. The tutor thing really got me going because, obviously right now people are looking at a lot of different ways to provide lessons for their children. A parent can directly ask for somebody to do lessons, and that doesn't mean you're their employer, So I don't know how we got down that road and people started making that decision. So with that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Very good. Thank you, Assembly Member. And we do have a motion from Senator Jackson to move its due pass as amended to appropriations. Consultant, please call the roll.
The motion is due pass as amended to appropriations. Members, please speak into your microphone in order to record a vote. Senator Hill.
Aye.
Senator Hill, aye. Senator Morrell.
Morrell, aye.
Senator Morrell, aye. Senator Jackson.
Jackson, aye.
Senator Jackson, aye. Senator Mitchell.
Mitchell, aye.
Senator Mitchell, aye. Senator Pan.
Pan, aye. Senator
Pan, aye.
The bill has 5 votes, and it is out. We will now move to AB 3056.
Great, and I am hoping I don't use up all your time today, but we got 2 more. Hopefully these will go quicker. AB 3056 basically sets a pretty low standard for warehouse employers, and they have a system right now where they have a kind of demerit system for workers because it's calculated by how quickly they're packing boxes and how quickly they're moving along, and they get demerits, if you will. I'm calling them demerits. They may call them something else, for time off task. When the time off task demerits come through, it's pretty automated. After a certain amount, they get fired from their job. All we're asking in this bill is that, that the time off task cannot include time that an individual goes to use the bathroom, that they can't include time that an individual goes to wash their hands or document an on-site labor violation. So in one and we know from lawsuits, in one situation, in one warehouse in Riverside, it takes an employee 7 minutes to walk to the restroom. So if they use the restroom, they've got to add 14 minutes of time off task and can get, in fact, behind enough where using the restroom provides them with a demerit, and eventually they will lose their job after 3 of those. During this public health crisis, this has actually created a crisis. In fact, there was a lawsuit in the East Coast about these same Amazon mainly warehouse workers needing to wash their hands during COVID, and that they can't be penalized for having to wash their hands. That's what the courts decided. These are basic human functions. We shouldn't allow it to be used against workers, and I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Very good. Thank you very much. And we do have a lead witness in support, Rosemarie Maline of the Los Angeles County Labor Federation. Are you on the line?
Thank you, Yes, thank you, Senator. Can you hear me?
We hear you fine. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Rosemarie Molina. I'm with the Los Angeles County Federation of Labor, and I'll be serving as a primary witness in support of AB 3056. AB 3056 aims at providing solutions to workload and break issues in warehousing. This policy is critically important now during the pandemic. The warehousing industry is expanding to meet the consumer demand for an increased array of products and shortened delivery times. Some companies promise goods within the same day of purchase and others within hours. Meeting this demand comes at a significant cost to warehouse workers. It was hard for workers to take breaks before COVID, and current health orders call for more breaks in safety, but many workers don't have the room to take advantage of these protocols. The problem is that the people technically have breaks under the current law, but they don't have the liberty to take them in a way that doesn't count against their productivity, ultimately resulting in penalties for workers and disincentivizing the usage of breaks, as Assemblymember Gonzalez stated. Yesenia, a former Amazon worker in Riverside County, described how difficult it was for her to use the restroom under the time-off task system and highly demanding quotas. She said, taking a restroom break was difficult. I would have to walk 3 minutes to get to the nearest restroom to my workstation, and I would stress about hurrying back to my station because I knew the time-off task would get me in trouble. I also held myself from using the restroom because I had to meet the quota. Similarly, a current Walmart warehouse worker in San Bernardino County told us, even with COVID, the quota was still the same. We have not been stopping at all to wash our hands more. How are the workers going to stop if they're still being demanded to maintain a quota of 200